Hello everyone, I'm here to talk about AMR with our Global Sustainability Director Robert van der Bremer and our Global Program Manager AMR Barbara Brutsaert. Welcome both. Barbara, before we start the interview, could you confirm the general perception that AMR resistance comes from eating meat?
It is true that antibiotic use in animals can lead to a higher increase of AMR in humans, but it is only a very small part. And second, the spread of AMR from animals to humans is only 5% by consuming meat. The biggest spread is from the animal waste and the direct contact with the animals to the humans.
Thank you, Barbara. Robert, could you explain a bit why this is important for Nutreco?
Sure, this is important to Nutreco because antibiotics are essential for human health and for animal health, and we need to keep it that way. So with that we need to make sure that antibiotics are used wisely and are used not as growth promoters, and also that certain types of antibiotics, the critically important antibiotics, are also not used if not really needed. Because we want animals to be productive, not to fight diseases, and we want animals and humans to be able to actually get help from antibiotics and not become resistant against them. So with that, AMR is a major topic for us in Nutreco and for our customers and our industry.
Thank you. Could you explain a little bit why it should also be important for our customers?
I think it should be important to our customers because customers in the end, they want healthy animals that produce and that spend their energy and time on growth, on producing milk or eggs or meat, and not on fighting diseases. On top of that, if the animals do get ill, you do want to make sure that the antibiotics that are there to help them to fight the disease actually work. So with that, for customers, I think there's both a productive economic argument and also a health argument to make sure that we fight AMR as an industry.
Thank you, Robert. And how are we going to fight AMR as Nutreco?
It starts with transparency. Transparency about our numbers, about where we use antibiotics, why we use the antibiotics, and what alternatives there are for that specific antibiotics use. So that's first. Second, once you have the transparency, we need to deploy the programs that we developed. They are time-consuming, they're not always easy, but it can be done. We've proven that it can work, so we need to deploy those programs at all the customers where we think that they can make a difference, to really, as much as we can, reduce the need for antibiotics at all our customers. At the same time, we're still using some antibiotics in our feeds, so that I think after the transparency and after deploying the programs, we need to make sure that we really continue the reduction that we already started for years of using antibiotics into our diets. So I think those three elements are key to the actions that we need to take.
Thank you, Robert. Barbara, could you maybe explain a little bit on what we have done so far to reduce?
We reduced our own antibiotic use already drastically the last years. And for the customers, we developed a 5-step program to make a switch to antibiotic reduction easy and manageable. For this, we combine the expertise of nutritionists, of veterinarians and farm management to make the antibiotic reduction also profitable for the customer. That's why we also have set clear antibiotic reduction targets in our roadmap 2025.
Thank you both. Do either of you have a final word you would like to say?
When it comes to feeding the future, we really need to make sure we fight AMR. So I think the UN estimates that by 2050 AMR is the major cause of death around the world. So I think if there's no clear call for action than this one. So feeding the future requires fighting AMR.
Thank you. Barbara?
Small switches, big change for feeding the future.
Thank you both.